Hello, students! A very, very warm welcome to all of you. Today, we're going to look at a really interesting lesson from your Class 10 English textbook, Unit 1. And the title is, Every Success Story is Also a Story of Great Failures. So, what's our plan for today? Let's take a quick look. We're going to cover this lesson in 6 simple parts. First, we'll start with a welcome. Then, we'll dive into some amazing stories. After that, we'll learn some new words, check what we've learned, and then think about what this lesson really means for us. And of course, at the end, I'll give you some simple homework. Okay, so let's begin. You know, this lesson is about a very, very important idea, that failure isn't something to be scared of. Actually, failures are like stepping stones that help us reach success. So come on, let us learn together.
Now, have a look at this. This is the main idea of our whole lesson. It says, failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of success. So, what does that really mean? Well, it means that you can't have success without failure. They go together, like friends. Just think of any successful person you know. I can guarantee you they have failed many, many times to get where they are.
To understand this idea even better, we're now going to look at some real-life stories. And these are stories of very famous people. You might be surprised when you hear how many problems they faced before they became successful.
First up, Abraham Lincoln. We all know him as one of the greatest presidents of America, right? But did you know he failed in his business and he lost so many elections before he finally became president? And what about Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb we use every single day? Can you guess how many times he failed? About 10,000 times. Just imagine that, trying something 10,000 times.
And the stories don't stop there. Look at Walt Disney, who created Mickey Mouse for us. A newspaper editor told him he had no talent and no imagination. Can you believe it? And then there's Colonel Sanders, you know, from KFC? People rejected his chicken recipe more than 1,000 times, and he only started KFC when he was 65 years old.
So what did all these people have? They all believed in their ideas no matter what anyone said. Take the Wright brothers, who invented the airplane. You know, just 1 week before they made their first successful flight, a big newspaper wrote that they were mad. And here's a funny one. Henry Ford, the genius who gave us modern cars, well, he actually forgot to put a reverse gear in his first car. He even went completely broke at age 40.
Amazing stories, aren't they? They all teach us that it's okay to fail. Now, to understand these stories and this lesson even better, let's learn a few new words. This will help us build our vocabulary and make our English even stronger.
All right, before we go forward, here are 3 simple questions for you. Just take a moment to think about them. You can even pause the video and try to find the answer in your mind. Go on, give it a try. Okay, ready for the answers? Let's check. For the first question, most people only see the final success, you know, the shiny trophy. They don't see all the hard work and failures behind it. For number 2, Lincoln had such a positive way of looking at things. He said defeat is just a detour, like taking a different road for a little while, but it's not a dead end. And number 3, yes, that amazing number again, Edison failed about 10,000 times. Okay, let's look at our new words. Our first word is defeat. It's a simple word, it just means to lose or to fail. In our lesson, we saw that Lincoln faced many defeats in elections. And a very common example would be, our cricket team faced a sad defeat in the final match. Next up, we have rejection. Rejection is when someone doesn't accept you, or maybe they don't accept your idea. In our lesson, we learned that Walt Disney faced a lot of rejection. And a simple, everyday example is, he felt sad after his rejection for the school team. And now for a really important word, persist. To persist means to just keep trying, to not give up, even when things are difficult. All the successful people we talked about, they all knew how to persist. For example, we can say, she will persist with her studies to get good marks. Fantastic! You are all doing a great job. So, now it's time for a very quick check. Let's see how much you remember from the stories we just discussed. All right, here are 3 more questions. Just try to remember the details from the stories. Who was it that was told he had no talent? How old was Colonel Sanders when he finally started KFC? And which inventor made that funny mistake with the reverse gear? Think about it for a moment. Okay, let's see the answers. Number 1. The one who was told he had no talent was Walt Disney himself. Number 2. Colonel Sanders was 65 years old. Wow, that shows us it's never too late to start something new. And number 3. The inventor who forgot the reverse gear was Henry Ford. Excellent.
I'm sure you got those right.
Okay, so we've heard the stories and we've learned the new words, but now comes the most important part of our lesson. What does all of this mean for you? How can we use these ideas in our own lives?
So, I want you to really think about these 3 questions. Why is it so important to learn from our mistakes? Out of all the stories, which one did you like the most, and why did it inspire you? And finally, how can you use this lesson right now in your school life? Just think and answer. Remember, there are no wrong answers here. It's all about what you think.
Here are some of my thoughts. For the first one, when we learn from our failures, it makes us stronger and helps us not make the same mistake again. For number 2, honestly, every story is inspiring. They all teach us one thing: never ever give up on your dreams. And for number 3, which is very important for you, you can use this lesson by not getting too sad if you get low marks on a test. Instead, you can see it as a chance to learn and try even harder next time.
We've reached the end of our lesson for today. So let's quickly talk about the biggest, most important message from this chapter, and then I'll give you your homework. So, if you remember just one thing from today, please let it be this: failure is not the last step. It is the first step to success. Don't ever be afraid to fail. The only thing to be afraid of is not trying at all.
So let's do a super quick recap. What did we learn today? Number 1, success and failure go together. Number 2, many famous people failed a lot of times. Number 3, we must always persist and never give up. And number 4, we should always try to learn from our mistakes.
And now for your homework. It's very simple. Just think about a time you failed at something small. It could be anything. Maybe learning to ride a bicycle or solving a maths problem. What did you learn from that experience? I just want you to write 2 sentences about it. That's all. And that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for being such wonderful students today. Always remember the lesson we learned. Keep trying, and you will definitely keep growing. Goodbye for now.